There is a moment in every believer's life when the world feels too heavy to carry, when the heart whispers for relief, but the day offers none, when the doors you knock on stay closed, and the people you rely on step away. And just when you think you have no place left to turn, a voice calls you not from this world, but from the heavens. A voice that says, if you truly seek me, come to me when the world sleeps. Tahajjud is not just a prayer, it is a meeting written for your soul before you were born. It is the night when Allah watches you rise, not because you are strong, but because He wants to make you strong. It is the hour when your whispers reach the throne of the Most Merciful and your tears become the ink with which your destiny is rewritten. Before you hear the 7 lessons that can transform your heart and change your life, remember this: Tahajjud is not for angels. Tahajjud is for the broken, the hopeful, the lost, the grateful, for every believer who wants Allah to hold their hand through the darkness. Tonight, you will learn why this prayer is the turning point of destinies and why those who rise at night walk through the day with a light the world cannot explain. There is a moment in every night when the world goes silent, when even your own thoughts soften, and when your soul feels the weight of everything you carried during the day. It is in that moment when the darkness is deepest that Allah opens the doors of the heavens and calls out to His servants. Mufti Menk often says, if you truly understood who is calling you, you would never sleep through this invitation. During the last third of the night, Allah descends to the lowest heaven in a manner befitting His majesty and asks, who is seeking my forgiveness so I may forgive? Who is asking from me so I may give? Think about this. The Lord of the worlds, the one who controls every heartbeat, every opportunity, every blessing, is asking you to speak to Him. Tahajjud is not just a prayer, it is an appointment with the Almighty. It is the time when your whispered du'as echo louder in the heavens than your loudest cries during the day. It is where your heart finally says what your tongue could not. In this sacred hour, your pain becomes a bridge, your tears become a language, your loneliness becomes a doorway to Allah's closeness. When you stand before Him at night, you are not one among billions, you are a servant. He chose a soul, He invited a believer, He wants to elevate. If you want your du'as answered, call out to Him when He is calling out for you. There are moments in life when the weight on your heart becomes so heavy that even breathing feels like an effort. You smile in front of people, you carry on with your responsibilities, you listen, you speak, you move, but inside there is a storm no one knows about. Even those closest to you cannot see the pain that settles quietly behind your ribs. The world measures your strength by how well you hide your weaknesses, but Allah measures your strength by how sincerely you turn to Him despite them. Mufti Menk often reminds us, the wounds you hide from people are the very wounds Allah heals in Tahajjud. Because Tahajjud is the prayer of the unseen tears, unseen fears, unseen battles. It is where you drop your guard, lower your head and speak in a language only Allah understands. When the dunya exhausts you, the night prayer revives you. During Tahajjud, you are not required to be composed. You are not required to be confident. You are not required to be perfect. You are only required to be honest. You can say, Ya Allah, I am tired. Ya Allah, I cannot do this alone. Ya Allah, remove what I cannot carry. Allah already knows your struggle, but He invites you to express it, because healing begins the moment you release what has been suffocating your heart. In Tahajjud, every tear you shed is noticed, every tremble in your voice is heard, every broken thought is repaired. Allah does not just remove your burdens, He replaces them with a peace that makes you forget how heavy life once felt. Sometimes you wake up for Tahajjud not because you are strong, but because your pain is stronger. But here is the miracle. Every night you rise with weakness, Allah fills you with a strength you did not know you had. The kind of strength that allows you to walk through the same problems with a calmer heart and a clearer mind. Tahajjud is where emotional wounds soften. It is where confusion becomes clarity. It is where anxiety becomes trust. It is where grief becomes surrender. You begin to realize that the burden was not lifted suddenly, you were lifted above the burden. Mufti Menk says something powerful. When you seek help from Allah at a time no one else is awake, He will help you in ways no one else can. This is why the believers who pray tahajjud walk differently. Their hearts carry a secret peace. Their souls carry a quiet strength. Their days carry a light the world cannot extinguish. Allah removes the burdens you cannot explain because only He knows the story behind them, and only He knows the reward waiting for you after patience. Tahajjud turns your hidden wounds into hidden gifts. Tahajjud turns your silent suffering into silent support from Allah. And tahajjud turns your heaviest nights into your most healing mornings. During the day, people see your actions. They see you pray. They see you give. They see you try your best. But at night when the world is asleep and no eyes are watching, Allah sees something far more important: your intention. Tahajjud is the worship that exposes who you really are when no one is there to applaud you. It is the prayer that removes the dust that has settled on your heart. It is the moment when sincerity becomes your strongest companion. Mufti Menk often says, your true relationship with Allah is built in private, not public. In the daytime, faith can become crowded with distractions, work, school, responsibilities, people's expectations, social pressures. Even in acts of worship, the heart can become divided. But tahajjud is different. There is no audience, no competition, no reputation to protect. Only you, your heart, and Allah. When you stand for tahajjud, you are not trying to impress anyone. You are not performing for praise. You are not seeking validation. You are simply returning to the one who gave you life, asking Him to purify what the world has polluted. Tahajjud cleans the heart in ways no other act can. It softens pride. It melts envy. It quiets anger. It humbles arrogance. It breaks the ego that whispers, you don't need Allah. And it replaces all of that with gentleness, humility, gratitude, and sincerity. This is why those who pray tahajjud walk through life differently. Their hearts are lighter, their souls are calmer, their intentions clearer. They do not seek to be known, they seek to be forgiven. They do not care about worldly spotlight, they care about spiritual purity. Tahajjud trains your heart to prefer Allah over everything else. When you wake up at night, you are telling Allah, my relationship with you matters. You come before my comfort. You come before my desire. And Allah responds by placing light in your heart, light that guides you even through difficult days, light that protects you from sins you could have fallen into, light that keeps you patient when you feel tested, light that pulls you back whenever you start slipping. Mufti Menk reminds us that sometimes Allah delays certain blessings because your heart is not ready yet. Tahajjud prepares that heart, it shapes it, it cleans it, it strengthens it. And when Allah sees that your heart is purified, He gives you what He has written for you at the perfect time. Purifying the heart is not a one-night process, it is a journey. And every time you wake up for tahajjud, you wash your heart again. You clear it from the stains of dunya, disappointment, jealousy, frustration, greed, ego, and you polish it with sincerity, patience, and remembrance. When the heart is clean, your du'as rise faster. When the heart is sincere, your path becomes easier. When the heart is pure, your destiny unfolds beautifully. Tahajjud is not just a prayer, it is spiritual cleansing. It removes what distances you from Allah and strengthens what brings you close to Him. It turns your heart into a place where peace lives, not pain. And that transformation is one of Allah's greatest gifts. Your connection with Allah is the single most important relationship you will ever have. People may walk in and out of your life, circumstances may change, opportunities may come and go, hearts may shift, but Allah remains. His mercy remains. His love remains. His doors remain open, especially in the last third of the night. Mufti Menk often reminds us that if you feel distant from Allah, it is not because He moved away, it is because your heart drifted. And the most beautiful way to return is through tahajjud. Tahajjud is not just a prayer, it is a conversation. A conversation at a time when distractions are silent, when your thoughts are clearer, and when your soul is most honest. During the day, your mind is pulled in 1,000 directions. At night, it finally comes home. When you stand for tahajjud, you are stepping into a sacred space where the dunya cannot follow you. The noise outside cannot interrupt you. The expectations of others cannot pressure you. It is just you standing before the one who created you, understands you, and loves you in ways no human ever could. This is why tahajjud strengthens the connection between you and Allah, unlike anything else. It is a private meeting reserved for the sincere. It is a reminder that Allah wants you close. close, it is reassurance that He listens, He cares, He responds. In tahajjud, your sajda becomes deeper, your dua becomes more genuine, your heart becomes softer. You begin to feel something you don't feel at any other time, a closeness to Allah that fills you with warmth, comfort and certainty. Your fears begin to lose their power, your doubts begin to fade, your confusion begins to clear. Because when you connect with Allah in the quiet of the night, everything else becomes small. Mufti Menk says something profound. The one who wakes up for Allah at night will never walk alone during the day. This is a spiritual reality. When you strengthen your bond with Allah in tahajjud, He strengthens you in moments you didn't even know were coming. The problems that would have shattered you become easier to handle. The pain that once controlled you begins to soften. The path that seemed impossible begins to open. Why? Because Allah takes care of the heart that seeks Him at night. Tahajjud nourishes your faith the way rain nourishes a dying plant. Piece by piece, the dead parts of your heart come back to life. You feel renewed, you feel guided, you feel stable. Even when life feels chaotic, something inside you remains steady. This connection with Allah gives you emotional resilience, spiritual clarity and inner peace. You no longer chase people, you chase Allah. You no longer depend on circumstances, you depend on Allah. Your relationship with the Creator becomes stronger than your fear of creation. And here is the beauty. The more you pray tahajjud, the more you begin to feel Allah's presence in everything you do. In your work, in your decision, in your struggles, in your moments of silence, in your moments of joy. It becomes harder to fall because Allah becomes your support. It becomes harder to feel lost because Allah becomes your guide. It becomes harder to feel empty because Allah fills your heart with light. Tahajjud transforms your relationship with Allah into something personal, intimate and powerful. It builds a bond that protects you in dunya and elevates you in akhirah. Strengthen your nights and Allah will strengthen your life. There are moments in life when you look at your future and everything feels blocked. Every door seems shut. Every effort feels wasted. Every dua feels unanswered. You try, you push, you hope, but still nothing moves. You start to wonder if maybe this is your destiny. Maybe this difficulty is permanent. Maybe the opportunity you long for will never come. But Mufti Menk teaches us something powerful. When you think the doors are closed, it simply means Allah wants you to knock at His door first. And the door of Allah opens widest in tahajjud. Tahajjud is not just a prayer, it is a key. A key that opens doors you could not open with your strength, your intelligence, your plans, or your connections. A key that unlocks solutions you never imagined. A key that turns your impossible into already written. There is a secret in tahajjud that many people do not understand. You are not just praying, you are aligning your destiny with Allah's mercy. During the last third of the night, when Allah asks, "Who is asking me so I may give?" He is inviting you to bring Him the things that feel too heavy for this world to fix. Maybe the door you want is marriage. Maybe it is a job. Maybe it is healing from a heartbreak. Maybe it is forgiveness. Maybe it is direction. Maybe it is the strength to start again. Maybe it is relief from something that has been suffocating your heart for years. Tahajjud is where closed doors begin to tremble. It is where the locks of hardship begin to loosen. It is where Allah writes openings that no human can ever prevent. Mufti Menk often says, if you wake up for Allah when you don't have what you want, Allah will give you what you never expected. This is because tahajjud is a sign of sincerity. You are sacrificing your sleep, your comfort, your rest, your warmth to stand in front of the one who controls every opportunity in your life. And Allah never lets sacrifice go unrewarded. Remember this, when you knock on Allah's door in tahajjud, you are not knocking as a stranger. You are knocking as a servant He loves. A servant He invited. A servant He wants to bless. Sometimes the doors in your life are not closed, they are being prepared. Sometimes Allah delays the opening because the blessing is not ready yet. Sometimes you are not ready yet. Tahajjud prepares your heart for the blessing He already planned. You become calmer, you become wiser, you become more grateful, you become more trusting, you become spiritually mature enough to handle what you once begged for. Tahajjud changes the kind of person you are, so the blessings you seek can settle into your life beautifully. And here is a reality that many ignore. Allah does not always open the door you want. Sometimes He opens the door you need. A door that leads to something far better than what you were praying for. A door that protects you from harm. A door that brings you closer to Him. A door that rewrites your future with wisdom you only understand years later. Every person who has tasted the sweetness of Tahajjud will tell you the same thing. I asked Allah for one thing at night, and by morning my heart was filled with 10 blessings I didn't even ask for. That is the power of Tahajjud, the prayer of openings, the prayer that shifts destinies, the prayer that prepares miracles. And Mufti Menk emphasizes, do not stop praying Tahajjud just because a door hasn't opened yet. Sometimes your Tahajjud is the door. It is the opening. It is the blessing. Because the real miracle is not what Allah gives you. The real miracle is who you become through your du'as, your tears, your patience and your trust. Tahajjud makes you a person of yaqeen, certainty. A person who knows Allah hears. A person who knows Allah decides the perfect time. A person who knows no door is ever truly closed when the Lord of the universe is the one guiding your footsteps. Tahajjud turns your blocked paths into bridges. It turns your setbacks into upgrades. It turns your delays into divine timing. So if life feels stuck, if you feel trapped, if every path seems closed, wake up at night. Allah is still opening doors, and one of them has your name on it. Most people wish for change. They wish for success, inner peace, stronger faith, and a better life. But very few are willing to do what truly transforms the heart. Waking up when the world sleeps and standing before Allah in Tahajjud. Tahajjud is not a prayer of convenience. It is a prayer of commitment. It demands something from you. It requires you to fight the comfort of your bed, the heaviness of your eyes, the laziness of your nafs. Mufti Menk often says, if you can win the battle against your sleep, you can win the battles of your life. Tahajjud builds a level of discipline that no self-help book, no motivational speech, and no worldly routine can give you. Because the discipline of Tahajjud is not just physical, it is spiritual, emotional, and mental. It is a discipline that reforms the heart before it reforms the schedule. 1. Tahajjud teaches you the strength of sacrifice. Every night when you leave your warm bed, you are sacrificing something beloved for someone more beloved, Allah. And Allah sees that. Allah honors that. Allah rewards that beyond measure. You learn that true success comes with sacrifice. Just like you sacrifice sleep for work, for studies, for entertainment, but this sacrifice is different. It is a sacrifice that purifies you, a sacrifice that elevates you, a sacrifice that makes the angels witness your sincerity. And that sacrifice becomes a source of strength. If you can give up comfort for Allah, you can give up sin for Allah, you can give up ego for Allah, you can give up anything for Allah. This is why people who pray Tahajjud become unshakable. Their hearts learn resilience, their souls learn endurance, their minds learn discipline. Though Tahajjud trains your nafs. Your nafs love comfort. Your nafs loves excuse. Your nafs loves delay. Your nafs loves tomorrow. But Tahajjud forces your nafs to listen. It forces it to obey. It forces it to accept that you are not a slave to your desires. You are a servant of Allah. The moment you wake up and push aside your excuses, your nafs becomes weaker and your iman becomes stronger. You begin to feel a shift inside you. You stop procrastinating. You stop delaying repentance. You stop avoiding responsibility. You stop choosing ease over growth. Tahajjud trains you to rise above your lower self. It turns you into someone who acts, not someone who only wishes. 3. Tahajjud teaches you patience. Not every dua is answered instantly. Not every hardship disappears overnight. Not every pain has a quick cure. But Tahajjud teaches you something far more powerful than instant answers. It teaches you consistent hope and patient trust. Every night you wake up and call upon Allah, you are proving to Him, my faith is not based on results, it is based on you. I trust your timing even when I don't understand it. I believe you are working in my favor even when I see no changes yet. This patience transforms you. It becomes part of your heartbeat, part of your speech, part of your personality. Suddenly, situations that would once break you no longer shake you. Tahajjud teaches you to wait without losing hope, to endure without losing faith, to struggle without losing gratitude. 4. Tahajjud builds the power of consistency. Anyone can pray once. Anyone can try for a week. But the real transformation comes from consistency. Mufti Menk says, Allah loves small but consistent deeds because they reshape the soul. Waking up every night, even for 2 rakats, creates spiritual momentum. You start becoming someone who shows up, someone reliable, someone disciplined, someone whose heart does not run from Allah but runs towards Him. This consistency spills into every area of your life. You become more focused, you become more responsible, you become more organized, you become more determined. And suddenly you realize the discipline you built in Tahajjud made you disciplined everywhere else. 5. Tahajjud strengthens your relationship with Allah through commitment. Think of any relationship, parent, spouse, friend. The bond becomes strong through dedication, not occasional effort. Tahajjud is that dedication with Allah. It is you saying, Ya Allah, you are worth my time. You are worth my sleep. You are worth my effort. You are worth my discipline. And when Allah sees this commitment, He commits to you. He protects you. He guides you. He removes obstacles. He blesses your steps. He softens your life. He strengthens your heart. 6. Tahajjud gives you control over your life. When you learn to control your sleep for Allah, you learn to control your life. Your desires stop controlling you. Your laziness stops controlling you. Your emotions stop controlling you. Tahajjud gives you mastery over your inner world. It teaches you to govern your choices, to refine your habits, to elevate your standards. You become someone who commands their day, not someone controlled by it. People notice the difference. Your character improves. Your patience deepens. Your presence becomes peaceful. Your mind becomes clear. Your decision becomes wise. Tahajjud does not just teach you discipline, it turns you into a disciplined person. 7. Tahajjud makes you spiritually unstoppable. A person who can rise at night is a person who cannot be broken in the day, because they rise with Allah and they walk with Allah. Tahajjud builds a courage that comes from the unseen, a strength that does not come from muscles but from mercy, a confidence that does not come from ego but from faith. You begin to believe deeply that Allah is with you, and a person who truly knows Allah is with them becomes unstoppable. Tahajjud shapes warriors of Iman, warriors who fight their nafs, warriors who rise after falling, warriors whose hearts carry light even in darkness. And that is why Tahajjud changes lives, not just through answered prayers, but through who you become in the process. There is a belief that settles into the heart of every sincere believer who tastes the sweetness of Tahajjud. If I woke up tonight, it is because Allah chose me. This is not arrogance. This is not wishful thinking. This is a spiritual truth. Mufti Menk often says, you don't wake up for Tahajjud because you are righteous. You wake up because Allah wants something good for you. Think about that carefully. Out of millions of people who sleep through the night, Allah allowed you to rise. He allowed you to answer His invitation. He allowed you to stand on the most honored ground. A believer can stand on the ground where destinies change. 1. Allah chose you when you could not choose yourself. There are nights when you set your alarm but sleep overpowers you. Yet somehow your eyes open minutes before Fajr. You think it's coincidence? It is Allah waking you, Allah reminding you, Allah pulling you toward Him with a mercy you didn't even ask for. There are nights when your heart feels heavy, when you cannot sleep, when something inside you nudges you out of bed. That is not restlessness. That is not random discomfort. That is Allah gently calling you to Him. When Allah loves someone, He invites them to stand before Him at a time when He is closest, when the gates of mercy are open widest. This is why the scholars say, the greatest honor is not being known by people, it is being woken up by Allah. 2. Tahajjud is a divine invitation, not a human effort. We often think we wake up because we have strong willpower. But in reality, even your ability to want good is a gift from Allah. Your desire to pray, gift. Your ability to rise, gift. The strength to stand, gift. The presence of heart, gift. The tears that fall, gift. The relief that follows, gift. Every moment of tahajjud is a sign that Allah is giving you something special, something He does not give to everyone. Mufti Menk reminds us, if Allah makes you worship Him, it is a sign He wants to forgive you, guide you and elevate you. People misunderstand blessings. They think wealth is a blessing. They think status is a blessing. They think luxury is a blessing. But one of the greatest blessings in this life is to be able to pray when others cannot. To be able to cry when others feel numb. To be able to connect with Allah in a world drowning in distractions. 3. Allah wakes those whose hearts He wants to heal. Not everyone who wakes up for tahajjud wakes up because life is perfect. Some wake up because life is unbearably heavy. But here is the miracle. Allah wakes the broken-hearted for tahajjud because He wants to heal them. Allah wakes the confused because He wants to guide them. Allah wakes the lonely because He wants to accompany them. Allah wakes the sinner because He wants to purify them. Allah wakes the hopeless because He wants to fill them with light. Tahajjud is not for perfect believers. It is for believers who are trying, believers who are hurting, believers who are seeking, believers who are struggling. If you feel weak but Allah still wakes you, it means He sees your effort and honors it. 4. Tahajjud is Allah's way of pulling you closer. There are times when your iman dips, times when your heart becomes dusty, times when you sin and feel ashamed, times when you feel lost and unworthy. And right when you think Allah is distancing Himself from you, He wakes you at night. This is Allah saying, I still want you. I still love you. You still have a place with me. No matter what mistakes you made, no matter how far you drifted, no matter how many times you fell, the moment you stand in tahajjud, you are returning to the one who never left you. 5. Tahajjud is the night when Allah lifts you. There are doors you cannot open. There are problems you cannot solve. There are emotional wounds you cannot heal alone. There are sins you cannot overcome without Allah's help. Tahajjud is the night when Allah lifts you above what weighs you down. While others are sleeping, Allah is strengthening your heart. While others are dreaming, Allah is rewriting your destiny. While others are resting, Allah is preparing your victory. And you think your tears fell for nothing? Allah catches every tear you shed in tahajjud. Every whisper you make is recorded. Every moment of sincerity becomes a seed of mercy waiting to bloom. 6. Tahajjud is evidence that Allah wants you to succeed. Some people think waking up for tahajjud will make them tired, weak or unproductive. But the opposite is true. Tahajjud sharpens your mind, stabilizes your emotions, strengthens your heart, increases barakah in your day, protects you from sins, guides your decisions, elevates your character, gives you clarity. Mufti Menk often says, if you want Allah to handle what you cannot see, handle what you can see, wake up and pray. Tahajjud is not just about prayer, it is about preparation. Allah is preparing you for something greater, something your heart is not ready for yet, but will be if you continue calling upon Him. 7. Tahajjud is the meeting of love between the servant and his Lord. The greatest sign of Allah's love is not material wealth. It is not popularity. It is not achievements. It is this: Allah allows you to speak to Him when the world is silent. He allows you to stand in the most sacred moments of the night. He allows you to be among the few who rise while millions sleep. This is spiritual intimacy. This is divine love. This is what makes a believer's heart shine. When you pray tahajjud, you are not just performing an act, you are answering a divine invitation. You are telling Allah, my heart belongs to you. My life is yours. Horin 10. My hope is in you. My trust is with you. And Allah responds in ways that words cannot describe. 8. The one loved by Allah is never forsaken. Allah never abandons the one who rises for Him. He never ignores their tears. He never forgets their du'as. He never wastes their efforts. There will come a day, maybe soon, maybe later, when you will look back and realize, every tahajjud I prayed was building this blessing. Every tear I shed was watering this miracle. Every sajda I made was opening this door. Tahajjud is not just proof that Allah loves you. It is proof that Allah is planning something beautiful for you. And when that moment arrives, you will understand, not one night was in vain. Not one prayer was unheard. Not one tear was ignored. Not one sacrifice was wasted. Allah was with you all along. And He woke you at night so He could walk with you during the day. If you are listening to this right now, it is not by accident. It is a sign that Allah wants goodness for your heart, guidance for your life, and clarity for your future. He is inviting you to return to Him, not tomorrow, not one day, but tonight. Start small. 2 rakats, 2 minutes of dua, 2 moments of honest conversation with the one who already knows every detail of your pain and every hope buried in your chest. Tahajjud is not about perfection. It is about sincerity. It is about showing Allah that even when you are tired, even when you are broken, even when you do not know what to say, you still choose Him. And when you choose Allah in the silence of the night, He chooses you in ways that shake the earth beneath your feet. Your destiny can change in one sajda. Your life can soften with one whisper. Your heart can heal with one tear. The doors you thought were permanently closed can open in a single night. So as this video ends, let your journey begin. Wake up tonight even for a moment. Stand before Allah with the heart of someone who believes that He can do what no one else can. Because He can, and He will. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs light. And support this channel by liking, commenting and subscribing. Not for numbers, but so more hearts can find the peace that Allah places in the night. May Allah fill your nights with His mercy, your days with His blessings, your heart with His light, and your life with answered du'as. Tahajjud is waiting for you, and so is Allah.